Hi, this is Mrs. Miles, and I'm here to share with you a little tour of Allerton Park today, and to show you a great tool to bring with you, whether you're coming to Allerton or any other type of natural setting. You can find out what it is that you're seeing if you have some tools. So let me show you what they can be like. So here we have what are called field guides. Okay, get a little closer there. They're put out by different companies. National Audubon is a great source, and they have all kinds of field guides. This one is for North American trees. I have one here that I brought from home called Insect Pests, and I've got one that is for North American wildflowers. They have guides for fossils, for stars, for rocks, for other kinds of plants, all kinds of different field guides for just about anything you want to find in nature. Fungus, mushrooms, you know, that type of thing. And they are really good to have. Now, for example, I will show you that we have, let's see if I've got it here in front of me. Yes, right here. Take my book with me. Actually, I'm going to turn around and do this one. We have this, some type of, you might not know if it's a tree or a bush unless you see it at a certain height. This actually happens to be a type of tree. And so using the North American Trees Field Guide would be a good start for that. So what I'm going to do is show you, go back over here so I can set it down. We have all kinds of different sections. So you can see here that there is a section where they show you actual pictures. This one has got things for cones and evergreens. There's stuff about different colored flowers, so you can find the color of flower you want. Types of leaves are very good to use. And so I'm going to turn to some simple leaves. Now, let's see. Let's see here. If I go, oh yes, here it is. All right. Now, if you look at, I know it's kind of blurry. There we go. This picture shows that it's called an eastern redbud. And if I walk you over here, looking at the book picture still, you can see that there's the picture in the book, and if it'll, there are the leaves. So you can see that the leaf, here's another one right next to it, and if I look back at the book, I can see that leaf right there. Sorry for the blurriness when it adjusts, but that is what that leaf looks like. So you can identify what the name is, and then it tells you right here on the bottom that the eastern redbud is found on page 518. So you go back into the field guide and you look for page 518. Aren't I a good cameraman? 518, there's 514, and 518. You can see down here at the bottom that it starts talking to you about the eastern redbud. It has a nickname called the Judas tree, and then it gives you a scientific name down there written from Latin languages. And it gives you information. You know, here's a tree with a short trunk, rounded crown, and then it talks to you about the leaves themselves and just gives you all kinds of things, if it has flowers and that type of stuff. And it's just a really good guide. Now, something else I noticed was this plant. Now, this one, of course, is a type of flower that is not on a large tree. So I think the North American flowers would be the best way to go. And so if we look at the North American flowers, I actually already found this one. I kind of cheated on you, sorry. And if you look at this one right here, there we go. It's called a white snake root. So if you look at this, I'll try to bring it up. There's the picture. And you can see the leaves that are around that as well. If you look over here, you can see that the flowers match. And there's a shot of the leaves that are around it. And here's a shot of the leaves from the picture. And so you can see that that's a match as well. And so this one, beautiful little flower. Come on, focus. This is called the white snake root. And they grow wild all over the place. So field guides are a really, really good, handy thing to have on hand. And like I said, it doesn't have to be plants. It can be the stars. It can be fossils, rocks, you name it. And you can find out what it is that's around you. If there's something that you really like, that's actually more of a garden type thing than something in the middle of a forest, then you could find, and there's guides that will talk to you about common garden flowers or things like that, bushes. And if you want to do something at your own home, you could find out what it is and then be able to find it and get it and plant it. So it's a really nice thing to be able to do. So I'm going to pause this for a little bit and go to a different location, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm back with you for a moment. I was walking to my next location, and I happened to pass this really pretty planter that's here right next to the Allerton house. And of course, this is something not natural. This was something that they planted. But you can use that, as I was talking about. If you really love those purple flowers, but you're not sure what they're called, you can use a key. They also have online keys. And you can look those up, plant them at your house. Here's some more pretty ones. Here's one that's a big leaf. Those are common to use in gardens and flower beds and things. But you can look up even common things that you can buy at stores. Okay, I'm going to move on to my next location, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm back here at my next location. We are right in back of the Allerton house in the area where he has his little pond. Gorgeous little place. And there's the house. What I was noticing when I was walking around earlier was something right here in the back lawn next to the pond. Look at that. Isn't that magnificent? Those are a type of mushroom. Mushrooms are types of fungi. And because I do not have my field guide to tell me about fungus, I don't know exactly what species this is. But look at those gorgeous colors that Mother Nature made. So if I'd had a field guide with me, then I wouldn't be left to leave and wonder about what I was seeing here. And so that's an advantage. Because if there's something you really, really like, and you walk away not knowing what it was, then, you know, you're kind of lost. You don't know what to do, if you want to try to get one, etc. But these sprang up here right next to the pond, and they are a gorgeous specimen. All right, I will come back at you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back at you. I am now a little ways from the main mansion, and you can see here that there is a statue. If you've never been to Allerton Park, it is incredible. The man Mr. Allerton, who originally owned this land, this was his homestead, all of these acres and the beautiful nature around it were just his. And he came and made the houses, lots of different houses here for his servants and different things. Down here, you can see in the walkway that there is, that's where a garden is located that's got walls on it and a little bit of a maze to it. But these are gorgeous things. So if you ever want to get out in nature, which everybody should do, you can come here to Allerton, bring your field guides, and you never know what you're going to find out about. There's a little back shot of the pond there. So, all right, I will let you know that this place is so massive that you are going to find all kinds of different populations, different types of organisms. And a population is simply a group of that same organism. And so, as you can see here, we have lots and lots of populations because there's lots and lots of different types of organisms or species. Those flowers I was telling you about in the beginning of the video, here's some more of them in a different location. And if I zoom back a little bit, you can see that there's lots of them back in here. And that's because there's lots of individual plants, but they're the same species, and so they are the same in a population. Now, this whole thing that consists of these beautiful flowers and trees and grasses and vines, and also the wonderful architecture. A lot of this architecture scattered around the property that you can find along trails is things that were imported by Mr. Allerton when he lived here from Europe. So lots of really good stuff. And all of this stuff, all the living things that you see and the non-living things like our little statue, we have rocks back over here. If we pan again through those trees, that's the pond, so there's water there. Of course, you're breathing air, water, air, rocks, those things. Those are non-living things. They're what we call abiotic factors. And they're right alongside these beautiful biotic factors, living things. And when you put all of those together in one location and they have to figure out how to get along, that's what we call an ecosystem. So I hope that you've enjoyed a little of the tour of this particular ecosystem. It is a very highly recommended place to visit. It's known all over the country, perhaps even parts of the world. And we happen to have it right in our own backyard here just outside of Monticello, Illinois, which is down the road from Bement, Illinois. So I hope that you've enjoyed your tour, and I hope that you can visit this place on your own. And don't forget your field guides.